It's another amazing year in the world. Everyone is celebrating and we are eager waiting for the World Cup. We have only 3 days to go kama kawaida. Ama mnafikiria ni aje watu? Yeah, tuko na siku 3 peke yake tuweze kuingia pale ndani ya Qatar. Kama kawaida karibu ndani ya showbab kubwa ndani ya sports special ukiwa nami kijana mtanashati mwenyewe ukipenda nite the big Bazoo au ukipenda jina kitambulisho unaweza niita Maiwa David. Andamana nami sako kwa bako niweza kukupasha yote ambayo itaweza kutendeka pale ndani ya Qatar. Niweza kukueleza group stages, niweza kukuelezea games za kwanza vile kutaenda hadi tuweze kufika finali na usiweze kubanduka. Stop. I know you all guys, you don't like history, but let me tell you this. History is the best thing ever. So I want to take you back, okay? Penye World Cup ilianza, and the first World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930. That was the first edition. And this time round tunaenda Qatar. This is the 20th edition, and this World Cup has been held in all the continents, including Mama Africa. So, the World Cup in Qatar has cost $250 billion, making it the most expensive World Cup in history. They have built 8 new stadiums and a brand new metro. All the stadiums, including the iconic Lusail Stadium, which will host the finals, are within a 50-kilometer radius of the capital, Doha. But these guys in a World Cup like no other, it has been plagued by many controversies. First is the size of the host nation itself. Qatar is a tiny nation of 800,000 people and quite a conservative country. This has raised questions of whether fans will be allowed to wave rainbow flags or if gay fans will be allowed to express their sexuality. Also, there is the issue of migrant workers. According to many human rights organizations, tens of thousands of migrants have died building those massive infrastructure in Qatar. Oh, and it's a World Cup in November. November of all months. Anyway, let's delve into analyzing the tournament with our analysts.
The money. Remember, they have a lot of gas. I think should be the largest natural gas producers in the world. They have the money, and if you have the money, you control everything in the world. Yeah, I think they will, because during the World Cup tournament especially, because there's the pressure that they don't want the bad headlines to be generated. Remember that for a tournament which has been plagued by controversies, you don't want to cause more controversies as the matches are being played. So I think there will be a compromise between their Sharia laws and their identity and probably what they call conservative culture, and they'll have to accommodate what the fans want, especially the high-profile fans.
Okay, for Qatar, I'm expecting a lot from them because it's their country that is hosting the games. And for Senegal, I know they have potential. For Ecuador, I think they can do something this time round. Yeah.
Group A, we have Netherlands, we have Qatar, the host, and we have Ecuador and Senegal. But the most important thing to remember is that Netherlands are coming into this World Cup with a lot of form. Louis van Gaal was appointed in March 2021 when the team was really down, and there were fears within the Dutch squad whether they would even qualify for the World Cup. But he has guided them in an unbeaten run. We have Ecuador, which qualified in 4th place. Thanks to a sturdy defense. We have Senegal, who won the African Cup of Nations, but it's going to be quite a difficult group because Qatar as the host country and the tournament being played in very hot temperatures must qualify to the next round. So I think it will be Netherlands and Qatar. Okay, so Group B should surely be the toughest group in the World Cup, because the difference between all the four teams in the FIFA rankings is around 15 places, because England in 6th and Iran in 20th position, there is only a difference of 15 places. So one of the most competitive groups. It's going to be quite very hard to envisage which team will go through, because first we have England, who are the winners in 1966, and they're coming from reaching the finals of the Euros and the semi-finals of last round. So there's a feeling of progress among the squad. But the issue is most of their star players have not been on good form. Harry Maguire has been sitting on the bench in Manchester United. John Stones has been playing as a right back at Manchester City, not in his preferred position. And they are missing Chris James, who gives them balance in a wing-back position. Then we have Iran. Iran are neighbors with Qatar, so they may be familiar with the environment and the weather, which will play a very big role in this World Cup. But I think Wales will shock, because Wales come into the tournament with a lot of grit. We remember when they first qualified for the Euros in 2016, they reached the semi-finals and they beat Belgium along the way. So my thinking is Wales and Iran or England will qualify. United States will finish last in the group.
Okay, for US, most of the time they don't play that soccer that much, but if they decide to do that, I know they got a space. And also for England, they are doing because they have won a before. So I think also this time if they put much effort and they focus on the game, then I know they can take it also again. For Argentina, it doesn't mean that because they have Messi that they will win. But also I know they can do it, because even last time, if you check the game, last time they did a great job, so I know even this time they can do it. For Saudi Arabia also, if you decide to focus on the game this time round, I know you can take it also.
Okay, so in Group C, we have the issue about, is this the time for Lionel Messi? Because Lionel Messi will be playing his last World Cup. He's 35 years of age. I don't think he'll play the next tournament in the United States and Mexico in 2026 at the age of 39 years. But I think that the group will be easy for Argentina and Poland to qualify to the next round, because Saudi Arabia don't have a huge amount of talented players playing outside of their domestic league, and Mexico are coming into the tournament struggling without strikers, because Raul Jimenez, their main striker, who plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers, comes into the tournament with suffering an injury, and even his coach tried to tell him to sit out of the tournament, but he refused. So that will be a very easy group for Argentina and Poland to qualify. So in Group D is quite, again, a very easy group, because France and Denmark will cruise through the group. Australia don't have quite a talented squad. Tunisia have always underwhelmed at every tournament. They've qualified for 5 times, but still there's the issue of whether they perform at the big stage and which team shows up into the games. But who will finish first is where the competition will be, because we know that Denmark beat France in the Nation League matches this year. And they are coming, having reached the semi-finals of the Euros, where they stunned every team along the way, and unluckily lost to England thanks to a controversial penalty by Harry Kane in extra time. So I think Denmark may win the group, France may come second, but both teams will qualify.
Okay, France, if they don't have those players, but I also think the training that they do, I know they can do it. And for Denmark, they have a great defense when it comes to those kind of games, so I know they can take it also. Okay, for me the group there will be Germany. Okay, because the last time they knocked them out, so I know that right now they have done a lot of training that I know they'll be able to take it. Because they know how those other countries, how they defend. So I know they'll be able to attack them well.
Yeah, Group E is quite tough, because again, people may look at Costa Rica as the underdogs, but we remember what happened in 2014 when they were placed in the same group with England, Italy and Uruguay. England, one of the heavyweights in football, and Italy, the 2006 champions. But yet they managed to knock both teams out and qualify as first place, not even second place, above Uruguay. So I think Costa Rica may bring their A game. Spain and Germany, Spain is quite a work in progress. It was a shock for the coach to leave David De Gea out, who's probably been the best goalkeeper in the Premier League for the last 10 years. And also leaving out Sergio Ramos may mean the defense lacks quite a bit of experience. But then Germany is also a team in transition. Yes, they hired Hansi Flick, the coach, who managed Bayern into winning the treble. But I think it may be a question of Germany plus either Spain or Japan. I don't think Costa Rica may manage to move into the next round in that group. So Group F gives us the tantalizing Group F gives us the tantalizing promise of whether we are going to see Croatia, Belgium or Mexico, one of those main teams which plays well but they never win the tournament, whether either of them will go to the next round. But I foresee a situation where Belgium may struggle, kick themselves through to the next round. Croatia have shown their pedigree in all the tournaments they've participated, and there are question marks probably, but not really, of whether Luka Modric can bring his A game into this tournament. Morocco has quite an exciting squad. Achraf Hakimi, who plays for PSG, and Hakim Ziyech, although he's been sitting on the bench, but he's one of the best players in Morocco. So it will be quite a very difficult group to foresee, but either of those three teams may qualify to the next round. I don't see any chances for Canada in their first World Cup in around 8 years.
Yeah, Cameroon have been doing a lot of training. They really have been showing us their trainings, so I know this time round they are ready for this. Okay, for that group, those are teams that they have great potential. Their players are just amazing. So this group, I know we are expecting a lot from them. That group is amazing.
Yeah, any focus in that group always draws your eyes to Brazil, who are the 5-time champions, the only team to have qualified for every World Cup edition. But I think people should take note of Serbia, who qualified first in their group ahead of Portugal, beating them at their own home ground to put them to the first position and a direct nomination ticket to the World Cup. Switzerland have always shown their pedigree at tournaments. They have qualified for the round of 16 in every tournament they've participated in the World Cup. So it's a question mark of which of these two teams. But Brazil, of course, are expected to steamroll through. They are coming into... They have only lost one game since Coach Tite was appointed. Actually, 2 games. One in the last World Cup against Belgium, and the other one was in the finals, the Copa America Centenario finals against Argentina, where Messi won his first international trophy. So I think Brazil may steamroll through. Serbia or Switzerland will fight for the second, but it's more like a rematch of the last tournament where both of these 3 teams were in the same tournament. Cameroon, I doubt their chances. They may finish as the whipping boys. Yeah, possibly the toughest group, but also possibly the easiest group. And this is why Portugal are coming into the tournament with the distraction of Cristiano Ronaldo with his massive interview and all the allegations he raised against the first club that gave him the chance in Europe, that made him the star he is today. And there are question marks of Cristiano Ronaldo's performance itself, because we remember that Ronaldo this season, in the games he has played, he has actually floundered a lot. He's only scored 2 goals, which was against Sheriff Tiraspol, the team that lost 3-0, 4-0 to Real Sociedad and were beaten by almost every other team in the group. So Ronaldo is not coming with much form, but unfortunately for Portugal, they don't have any other option because Thiago Jota suffered an injury in the game against Manchester City. So I expect that group Uruguay will come first, because Uruguay are coming into this tournament with a squad that is on fire. Valverde, their midfielder, has been on fire. Bentancur has been scoring goals for Tottenham. Darwin Núñez has started to pick up his form at Liverpool. There's also Cavani and Suarez. You can always put them in the game at any minute and they can give you a goal. So expect Uruguay will come first. The question is whether between Portugal or South Korea, which team will perform to finish second. But Ghana don't have a chance this time around.
Stephen Appiah. Appiah, nicely done. Asamoah Gyan. Look at this, Montari! 2-0! Sonny Montari! They've got it at last!
One thing I do love Senegal. I love the way not only they have managed to go to the World Cup, but also the AFCON. Senegal is a great team and they will represent us as African very well. and also the rest of the team, it will be going to be a very competitive matches in the group stage. So we're hoping that the teams will do their very best.
Okay, and let's talk about Cameroon. They are with Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland. Quite tough for them to qualify from that group. What do you think?
From a point of view, Cameroon is very awesome, and the fact that they will be playing with teams like Brazil. Brazil is a great country as well, but we have to be African, team African, humble African, right? So I think Africa, we are going to change the whole table. From a point of view, Cameroon is very awesome, and the fact that they will be playing with teams like Brazil. Brazil is a great country as well, but we have to be African, team African, humble African, right? So I think Africa, we are going to change the whole table in this World Cup. Team Africa, despite the teams that will be playing, you see, if something like Ronaldo, we have seen he has been having so many scandals. We can see he's not even cooperating with other teammates. So Ghana, they will take up this chance, try and go out there and make us as African proud. Tunisia, they are really great. I wouldn't even try to imagine them failing us, because you can see even in their AFCONs, they are full of potential. So when it comes to the World Cup, I know they are going straight to the top.
Personally, I don't think any of the traditional African teams will qualify to the next round, because when you look at the groups they've been placed in, probably the only team that has a chance is Morocco, because they could have trained either Croatia or Belgium to get to the next round. But for Senegal, for Cameroon, for Ghana, they don't have any chance at all. And for Tunisia, not even a 10% chance to qualify. So I predict a very, very sad World Cup, just like it was in 2018 in Russia. So, yeah, Sadio Mane is the hearts and the brains of the Senegal squad, because of how much he has done for his own country in terms of giving his salary for charity, building a lot of development, and carrying the country's flag. So even if he was walking with one leg, he would have been called up for the World Cup. But the issue is not about really whether Sadio Mane is performing. The issue is about their defense. Remember, Koulibaly joined Chelsea as one of the best defenders in the world. But the evidence over the last 2 months has been of a performance of a championship player, Edouard Mendy, who's been untouchable in goal, and who was even nominated for the Yad Vashem Award, the equivalent for Ballon d'Or for goalkeepers. He's suffering a bad run of form. Remember, Kepa was playing. So I think their problems are more at the back rather than Sadio Mane.
For Ghana this time round, they are prepared. It's not that well like last time. Like Ghana, we expected something from them, but they are not giving it to us this time round. Okay, for Senegal, it's a great team. If you look at them, the players have been playing for other international teams, so I know they have a great chance this time round. And also their training has been, they are training well, so I think they'll be able to do it. The only problem that will become is their government, which does not support their games so much. That's why they go to play for international games, teams. So I think they can do this. For Cameroon, playing with Brazil, it's tough, but as African countries, we believe in ourselves. So I think they can take Brazil. Yeah. Okay, for Tunisia, playing with Japan, they can do it, but Japan have been doing a lot of training. They've been playing for so many games, but I know Tunisia, if they are focused right now, they can do this. And for Morocco is a great team, is a great country, and their training has been also amazing. So I know they have a great chance with Croatia. Yeah. I am voting for Senegal.
First of all, let's talk about African teams. We have Cameroon, we have Ghana, we have Morocco, and also we have Senegal. So my prediction in African teams, what can I say, maybe Senegal, I suppose Senegal will be the way. So I see Senegal going up to round of quarterfinals. Yeah, I think because of Mane being injured, so and Mane is they are everything there. So Senegal to
quarterfinals. Then Morocco they can try, but watafika round of 16 tu hapo hivyo. Then so mostly in Africa I'm focusing more with Senegal.
Battuta la Tunisia, il colpo di testa di Al-Montashari e c'è il gol segnato da Shaqiri, 1-0 per la Tunisia. Shaqiri ha segnato per la squadra tunisina. È stato un rimpallo, l'ha avvantaggiato, però poi si è piegato bene e ha buttato il pallone dove il portiere.
The team that I will be voting for, who will emerge winners, is Germany, because they will try to bring back their glory, which they won back then in 2014. So Germany is a great team actually.
The hardest group, it will be the group with Germany and the group that is having France, and the other one with Senegal. France, obviously. I'll always vote for France. It doesn't, even if they won last time, I'm also doing the same. I know they can do it also this time round. I believe in them.
Yeah, first of all, before we go there, which team are you supporting in World Cup?
Yeah, I'm supporting Netherlands in the World Cup.
That's the
And Uruguay, but Netherlands.
Uruguay.
Yeah.
In Africa, no.
Nah.
Okay, so what is your first team?
My first team is Netherlands, and I think Netherlands will win the World Cup. It will be the perfect send-off for Van Gaal, who was suffering from prostate cancer, who guided Ajax to the Champions League in 1996. He came and rescued Manchester United, won the first trophy, the FA Cup, in 2015, before you guys sacked him for Mourinho, and he didn't work out well as usual. But then I think Netherlands should win this tournament. If not, I foresee Uruguay. So it's Netherlands or Uruguay for me.
For me, I support Brazil, and I have been supporting Brazil since old days, since I was a young boy. And Brazil now kuchukua this World Cup. They have won the World Cup 5 times, and according to the squading up now is very, very amazing. So I see Brazil winning this World Cup. Second, I can give it to France, and then Netherlands. Okay, my friend Brian, I can be able to tell you that. Remember you said Italy won the Euro, but they never qualified to the World Cup. It's shocking. Okay, this time around I'm going to prove you wrong, but I'm going to prove you wrong. Because I see Netherlands, they can finish that, but they cannot be able to win this World Cup. So I still stand with my opinion. I support Brazil, and Brazil is going to take this World Cup.
The final of the 21st Football World Cup. Flicked in by Griezmann and flicked on, and France take the lead in the World Cup final. Indeed, Croatia's.
Watch the World Cup, but also remember that this is a World Cup where your fellow people are struggling. Remember, 60,000 migrants or so have died in Qatar, most of them either of African or Indian descent. Remember about how Africans are treated in Qatar and in other Gulf Arab countries as a whole. So as you enjoy the World Cup, also put some light into some of the difficulties that our African brothers and sisters are passing through. Yeah. And imagine it hasn't generated the headlines as well, because a World Cup where other tournaments are ongoing and they've been stopped for a while doesn't generate as much focus, as much of the world headlines. You don't see even jerseys of national teams like when it used to be held in June, 1 month after the season has ended. And it has also robbed us of many high quality players like Kante, Pogba, they're not playing in the World Cup, Kunku as well, who's been rolled out recently. So it's not a really good idea to be doing it in November, but I understand because it can't be done in the summer months because of the weather. But then again, why did you put the World Cup there if you knew the weather was bad?
Pele himself. Oh, Lloris was caught on it by Mandzukic. Lloris with a moment of madness. Mandzukic perhaps a moment of redemption. It is France. It will be some can-can on the Champs-Élysées tonight. France are the champions of the world.
Kama vile wanavyosema Waswahili, kinachokuwa na mwanzo lazima kiwe na mwisho. Sina budi kufika tamati. Thank you guys for following Kings TV. at Facebook, and at YouTube at King's Fraternity. Continue sharing the video, subscribing, share, comment. Wacha comment yako hapo hivyo, share kila kitu, sio? We love sports. Show kubwa ndani sports special. Umekuwa nami kijana mtanashati mwenyewe, call me the big bazoo, kipenda zaidi niite the handsome boy. Jina langu kitambulisho naitwa Maiwa David. Till next time, till 2026, Mungu anatupatia uhai na kuandalia kitu kingine moto zaidi kuliko hii ya Qatar ya 2022. See you some later.